Hey everyone, it's Helen Eimers. I am excited to come to you live today to talk about how I used to create hell on earth for myself and many people around me. And I'm excited to share this with you today. I've been thinking about sharing it with you all today on my social media platforms because I share this with all the people that I love. I share this with my clients, I share this with my potential clients. And the time to share it with you all is now. And so I feel very blessed to be able to do this, to be able to have the faith and the strength to do this, because this isn't always the easiest thing to talk about. So if you don't know me, I am a nurse turned life coach. I've been a nurse for over 15 years and a life health and wellness coach for over 6 years. And I absolutely love what I do. I get to coach women every single day to see their full potential, to live in their full potential. And it is so amazing. It's so inspiring to be able to see them step into their confidence, to live a more simple life, and to have more peace. And the reason I started becoming a coach is because I used to live my own hell on earth. I used to create it. I used to actually enjoy being in it most of the time. And it was it was very challenging. It really was a space where I wasn't my best person. And so now that I am no longer doing that, or I'm intentional about not living that hell on earth, everything has changed. And so I wanted to talk to you about how I used to be in that space and where I'm at now, and even some examples. So um, I used to really let envy and gluttony, lust, anger get in the way of so much of what I did, right? Like I felt very insecure, so I used other things to cover that up. And I also have struggled in the past and even the present with some pride and greed. And these are some of the things that overcompassing, we could probably put most of our challenges into these buckets. And I used to incessantly worry. I used to incessantly stress. I used to think about what other people thought about me, and it consumed me. And it left me with this kind of unquenchable thirst, right? Like this fire, what Christians think of as hell is unquenchable fire. Like I just can't get out of it. I feel really stuck, and it feels really, really hard all the time. And so one of my favorite books is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And he talks about how as humans, we create this hell on earth. We create this space of overthinking, of obsessive thinking, of um, anxious thoughts, or thoughts that make us feel anxious or make us feel depressed. And we live in it. We almost wallow in it. I used to enjoy being a victim, right? Like, let me tell my sad sob story because I want someone to hear about it. I want someone to notice me. I want someone to care. I needed that affirmation from them. And when I didn't get it, then I would try even harder. I would do things that maybe I wasn't in alignment with, right? Like I would talk more, I would drink more, I would try to get someone to like me more. I would do more so that in my mind, I could be accepted. And that wasn't always the best thing, that I wasn't living in alignment with who I really wanted to be. So in his book, The Four Agreements, Don Miguel talks about the four agreements that you can live by to help you live your most freeing life. And it's been really life changing for me as a Christian, as someone who has always wanted to have this relationship with the Holy Spirit and God. I feel like I'm finally getting there. There's so much to learn, and I will still continue to fall and fail and learn. I am human, but I feel so close, and I love helping my clients feel that too, because then they don't have that unquenchable thirst anymore, right? Like they don't have that feeling of being punished multiple times, whether they're punishing themselves, whether they're punishing other people, or there's shame or there's guilt, or there's envy, or there's, anger, they can like be released from that so that they can start to live heaven on earth. They can start to live their most amazing lives. And it is so powerful. They live lives that are more peaceful, more simple, and they're more confident to try new things, even if it doesn't work out. And so these four agreements that Don Miguel talks about is be impeccable with your word, something I never used to do, right? I used to like tiptoe around things because I didn't want to hurt someone's feelings, and I didn't want to say it the wrong way, or say it and then have someone think that it's not okay. Don't take anything personally. Holy smokes. I took everything personally, right? Like, oh, they looked at me the wrong way. Oh, they said this. Oh, they're going to think this because I wore this outfit. They're going to think that. They're going to, uh, they said that because they don't like me. Like, I took everything so personally when in fact, they probably weren't even thinking about me. Like, they had no thoughts of me, right? I was being very selfish in thinking that everyone was thinking about me all the time, and I was taking everything personally. One of the other agreements, and this is my favorite one that I talk about most and I talk about with my clients most, is don't make assumptions. How often do you make assumptions? Like all the time. And it's exhausting, and it keeps us in this cycle. It keeps us in this fear. It keeps us in this obsessive thinking of like, oh, well, if I did that, then it wouldn't work out, or they wouldn't like that, or that he wouldn't do that. It's like, and I often like to ask, like, did you ask them? Did you ask them that? And I'm still learning to do this too, because it can be hard. It can be hard to ask the hard questions versus just make an assumption, right? Because it's so easy to just make an assumption that something is wrong or that something will be wrong. And then the last agreement is always do your best. So in Don Miguel's book, he talks about if people aren't living by these agreements, right? If they are not being impeccable with their word, for example, they're tiptoeing around things or not speaking or telling people how they really feel, if they take everything personally, if they make assumptions, and if they're not doing their best, they're creating this hell on earth for themselves. And I was doing the same. I felt really in this uphill battle all the time, like wanting to do better, wanting to be better, but continuing the same cycle of not being better, of not doing better. And it was exhausting. It was so exhausting. And now that I'm able to live more by these agreements, live more by the word of God, um, it's been so freeing. And I love to help my clients do the same. And so for me, it's been so important to realize, that, most of the time our biggest fear is not taking the risk of being alive, right? Because we are okay, we're comfortable where we are, right? We have these cycles, we have these unintentional thoughts, we have these habitual thoughts that just continue into our minds and affect everyone around us. And when we can start to let go of those by living with these agreements, by letting go of that, by focusing on what our true thought is that causes that negative emotion, that obsessive thinking all the time, and let go of it, oh my gosh, it feels so good. And I love to see my clients break through with that. Recently on a coaching call, I, was working with one of my clients on a thought process that she had, right? And her thought process, the thought that she was having made her feel exhausted, stressful, anxious. And then it just turned into this like continuation with someone that she loved of like anxiety and being snippy and being bitter and the blame and sitting and stewing in it. And, she said, I've created my own misery. And it's so true. We all can create our own misery. And the amazing thing is that we can step out of that. We can step into a much better place where we feel satisfied, where we feel joy and unconditional love. And that's exactly where I take my clients. So This was very enlightening to share with you because while I am a Christian woman, I haven't shared probably this much of my faith on social media because guess what? I'm, I was worried about what people would say or do or think. And it's okay if some people unfollow me. It's okay if no one wants to listen to my videos. I am just so thankful that I'm here and able to help not only myself, but all of my clients so that they can feel that unconditional love and joy. So if you are ready to stop your obsessive thinking, if you are ready to stop the internal tug of war, if you are ready to let go of the same cycle over and over and feeling like you just don't have hope or are stuck in this bitterness or everything or nothing turns out your way, I would love to help you. I work with clients on a one-on-one basis, and most recently I added some group coaching calls to that because it's so important to have a community of women who are all have the same vision or similar visions in mind so that they can support each other and know that they're not alone, right? Like these are universal thoughts, right? The thought that I have to do it all. I'm always in charge of this. Another universal thought is, I have more than I can handle, or I'm not capable, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or some of them that I've had is I'm unacceptable, or I'm so sick of this, or I am powerless, or I need others' acceptance, right? Like these are thoughts that so many of us think and they're unintentional and they're just automatic habits. And when we can work to identify those, because they make us feel yucky, and sit with those feelings and then switch the thought around so that we can feel more a higher vibrational energy, it's super powerful. So if you're ready to feel more joy and unconditional love, no matter what happens in your life, please message me. Please message me the words "I'm ready," and we will hop on a connection call and see if working together would be a good fit. I'm so excited to offer this to women. I'm so excited to offer this to the universe to help women just really step into their power and visualize their most highest self, walking through life with joy and unconditional love versus regret or shame or frustration or anxiety or doubt or um, feeling unsettled. So if you're ready, please comment "I'm ready." And if you have someone that you love that is working on themselves and really wants to be the best version of themselves, and you thought of them when you watch this video, please just tag them in this video. I'd love to chat with them too. So I love you guys. I encourage you that there is hope and there is unconditional love and there is joy, and that you don't have to be stuck in this cycle of hell. You don't have to create the cycle of hell for yourself. You can uncreate it and live in a place of joy and unconditional love. I'll talk to you guys soon.